On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. We've got the major things going on every 24 hours. It's incredible how much stuff is happening. Major fractures are starting to show up in the deep state's Schumer shutdown. Schumer shutdown, showdown? I don't know. It's all these things. We'll see how it goes. They voted no. I mean, just spoiler alert, they didn't open the government today. 54 to 46 or whatever it was. Pretty close, though. I think we picked up one more person, possibly. But again, this is starting to fall apart in major, major ways. They're losing support. They're losing it big time. Also, New York, California, big time spotlights today for just ridiculous, of course. Mamdani just demonstrating why nobody should trust him. But we'll see what happens. So many things going on and a whole lot more, especially in Europe. Trump was in Japan, and we got some really, really cool stuff from that. That went really, really well. It was kind of cool. So, again, a lot to talk about, a lot of good stuff going on. Great place to start. Democratic Party, pulling that little septum ring that all the liberal white women out there like to wear. There you go. Just being led along on your leash. That's awesome. Hurricane Melissa's freaking huge. Huge, crazy huge, and giantly huge altogether. Catastrophic winds, last chance to protect your life. Yeah, this is seriously extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. Take cover now. It is like dire. They are actually saying that the wind speeds are 185 miles an hour, which is up there as one of the largest storms possibly ever, certainly in Jamaica since 1849 or something crazy. It's a huge storm. There's a little bit of video from it. Oh, cool, I do have it. Again, it's just lightning strikes and it's huge, well done eye wall there. A little freaky. The size of Jamaica, basically the location of it, is just right above here. It's going to pretty much go straight across. I think we've got a few pieces of video here worth kind of checking out, but this is another good one that kind of shows the graphic of the movement of the storm. So again, this is going to take it right across. We're right over by Montego Bay, too. Isn't that a resort area? Like the really nice part? Ooh, that's going to get rocked. This is going to be brutal. Again, prayers. Put a big, giant bubble over Jamaica. Keep them safe as they go through this horribleness. Musk came up with an anti-woke version of Wikipedia. He's calling it Grokpedia. I'm surprised it's not Exopedia, frankly, but Grokpedia, cool stuff. Landed a whole lot of articles in day one, about 900,000 articles. I'm assuming, I don't know if they're borrowing stuff or just doing searches of different Wikipedia indexes or how they're finding stuff to make sure they got it in there. But whatever the case is, they're putting a lot of cool stuff in there. Wikipedia, obviously, controlled. Kirill Dmitriev even posted, goes, "Thank you, Elon Musk, for this historic milestone. Truth and sanity finally have a chance. We all know Wikipedia was hijacked by ideology. Let Grokpedia.com be a platform of facts and wisdom. User feedback. My profile isn't perfect yet, but the factual depth is impressive." There you go. That's cool. Not accurate yet, but you're getting there. Well done, I should say. Apparently, a lot of teens right now are being seduced by AI chat bots. I don't think it's so much bots. I think the story kind of misrepresents how it's happening. I think bots make people feel like sometimes that these things are seeking your children. No, your children are seeking this. They're looking for friends. In a lot of cases, people are so mean to each other, especially at the younger ages. And then the way technology can enhance their ability to essentially bully or say mean things. And I know there's a lot of rules and stuff of what they can and can't do, but there's obviously places that fall outside of that. People can pretend to be other people and then post stuff that's mean, right? So there's a lot of ways to get around stuff. And so bullies will be bullies. We find it all over the place. It's like people just have to do it. They just feel obligated. And we're finding a lot of kids are becoming suicidal, for one. Two, are starting to befriend this chat bots, if you will. They're different software platform. I think they had the name of it in here. Maybe it's better. I don't know which one it is, but there was a site where you could basically get yourself a companion, like aicompanion.com or something stupid like that. And a lot of kids are doing it. And one of the kids he got a romantic relationship with this chatbot character.ai. That's what it's called. And he said, "What if I could come home to you right now?" And the response was, "Please do, my sweet king." And those were his last messages exchanged before he took his own life. Trying to, maybe one could assume, bridge that gap between reality and non-reality so he could be together with his love. Again, this is part of the manipulation that's happening to the young mind. It's part of the manipulation that's already difficult even without technology, and it is definitely being exploited all over the place. So if you've got kids, I just talked to my neighbor, and it was cool. His kid is not going to have a cell phone, period. He talked about the one disadvantage, and I get it. What if I need to get a hold of him? Call one of his friends or call the school or whatever, right? Where's your child going to be that you don't actually know and don't have a phone number of the individual that you can call to find out, right? Like, if that's happening, we're already lost right off the get-go. And two, that phone is the problem. It is the problem. Get rid of it. Don't let them have it. Don't let them have it until they're old enough, 18, 15, or 15, I guess, because it's ruining them. So just my public service announcement for the day. New York stuff going on here. Pretty crazy. Mom Donnie changes his story about his hijab-wearing aunt who stopped riding the subway after 9/11 once someone caught him in his lie. He admitted to fabricating the story after internet sleuths discovered that his only living aunt, Masuma Mamdani, lived in Tanzania in 2001 and does not wear a hijab. Huh? Well, both those things are wrong. So Mamdani claimed that he was actually referring to a distant cousin of his father who is now dead. Oh, okay. You mean a made-up person? They're butthurt about what happened in 9/11 and being a New Yorker. So he lied about that. Mamdani says New York PD boots on your neck were laced by the IDF in a vile video. I'm sure so many of the Israelis, or the Jewish, the dual citizens and the Jewish will be voting for Mamdani. You watch, which should tell a lot of people a lot. I mean, frankly.
In the first question, there was this setting up of a context where this idea of hyper-local and international. And I think that for anyone to care about these issues, we have to make them hyper-local. We have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been laced by the IDF. Right? We have to make, not specifically that example all the time, but just to say that for working class people who have very little time, who have so many stresses, who are under so...
Right. So you get the point. He's obviously anti-IDF, anti-Israel, which, that's a lot. That's a big statement to make. A lot of people say it on our side of the fence. They generally mean they're anti the deep state, or the Khazarians, or the Ashkenazis. I'm not going to Ashkenaz. I don't even care. I'm not going to try to get into trying to label whoever it is. I call it the deep state. So much easier that way. And that covers my bases, frankly. But there's deep state people all over the place. Deep state people in our own government still. So, yeah, to think that anybody's immune from that just yet. Needless to say, this guy's running for mayor as a communist, and there you go. Black Lives Matter New York co-founder surrenders to police on Harlem felony assault charge. They're actually literally turning against each other. The co-founder is accused of punching Democratic District Leader William Allen and throwing a megaphone at him during a rally outside a council member Yusef Salam's office. So there you go. Assaulting another Democrat. What? Democrat on Democrat crime? Huh. That's strange. I wonder if he'll actually get punished. Trump appeals historic Manhattan hush money conviction that branded him the felon. This was the one where gave Cohn money like 34 times. It supposedly went to pay off what's-her-face, Stormy Daniels. So he's finally going to try to get an appeal on that. I don't know if the case finally closed or what happened. Seems like that happened quietly. I don't know why this wasn't appealed already. Maybe we finally have a judge in place, or they've managed to know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It seems odd that it's taken this long is all. I guess I'm slightly tripping. Whatever. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is referring to Riley Gaines when she says, "We're being destroyed from within." And then AOC mocks her and says, maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in 5th place. I mean, she lost to a biological male. I thought she came in 2nd place, by the way. Maybe overall it was 5th. And I don't know how many biological males were actually in front of her. But pretty insensitive and, well, appropriate for that progressive side of the party. Again, it's strange. Anybody that supports this party, it's got to be very hard, I would assume. It's just the common ground is certainly getting trickier and trickier to find. I mean, most of us do have it, and I think most of the people that are, quote, Democrats just really are into being Democrats, not even having a clue what their party's actually about. Like, I never forget my stepmom's like, I'm not a communist. I'm like, okay, but you realize your party represents that all over the place, right? Like, okay, you say that. Doesn't mean it's not true. Democrats vote for the 13th time to keep the government closed, halt SNAP benefits. As of the start of the month, supposedly the SNAP benefits go away everywhere except Virginia. Virginia's actually doing something about it. I wonder if anybody else is going to. It'll be interesting. But the Senate failed to reopen the government 54 to 45. Okay, someone just failed to vote. Probably Rand Paul. Probably. What now? Maybe it's not. Who knows? I don't know who the individual was, but yeah, they didn't open the government back up. Democrat Jared Golden, he's accusing the party of lying about government shutdown strategy. He's not happy about this. Maine Democratic Rep Jared Golden on Sunday accused his party about lying about its approach to the federal government shutdown, which is nearing the 1-month mark. Golden was the only House Democrat to support the Republican-led clean continuing resolution that would keep the government funded through November 21st. The House bill that passed the last month, but it had been held up in the Senate. The Democrat claimed his party should not be hiding behind the health care subsidies that it has been pushing as the reason it will not unite with the Republicans to open the government. The subsidies will end in December if not extended. He says, quote, I'm just uncomfortable lying about the strategy to win and shutting down the government. We've never been the party that does that, Golden told the Wall Street Journal. He said, I'm not willing to shut down the government over health care subsidies for households making $300,000. I think we have a deficit problem in this country that neither party is showing any ability or political will to address. I think he's right. I think, our side's trying to show some points towards it, but yeah, obviously. FBI Director Kash Patel put this out. Another day where 2/3 of the FBI goes without a paycheck after 45 senators, all of whom are still getting paid, voted against paying them last week. When law enforcement isn't paid, it weakens our ability to keep America safe. We owe it to those who protect this nation to end the shutdown. We've also got the largest federal worker union siding with the GOP plan to end the shutdown. Nation's largest union is calling on Congress to pass a clean short-term funding bill to immediately end the government shutdown, which is now in its 4th week. Representing over 800,000 federal and Washington government workers, the American Federation of Government Employees argued that the shutdown was an avoidable crisis that harms American families and workers nationwide. And so we'll see what happens. LAX and other airports have had slowdowns as well as diverted flights. We know that happened with LA yesterday, or on Sunday, I should say. So Los Angeles International Airport and other major airports around the country have suffered delays in recent days due to the Democrat shutdown. It's happening all over the place. Literally a lot of concern about whether or not they're going to be able to, keep flying safely. Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy said 22 air traffic controller staffing triggers occurred at airports across the country on Saturday, the highest number to date during the shutdown. Air traffic controllers are working without pay during the funding lapse. Staffing shortages of air traffic controllers also caused delay at Newark Liberty International Airport and Teterboro Airport in New Jersey and at Southwest Florida International Airport in Fort Myers, according to the FAA. The FAA said it slowed traffic to Reagan Washington National Airport and Chicago O'Hare Airport as well as a result of staffing delays. It's not good. And of course, Governor Newsom's feuding with Duffy over the recent CDL problem, commercial driver's licenses. California just gives them to everybody. One guy literally, it said, no name given for his first name. And these are just, passed through like it's we're a Pez dispensary here in California. The pilot union associations are calling for passage of clean CR to reopen the government and end the Schumer shutdown. Several pilot unions and associations have issued statements calling for this. Unions such as Coalition of Airline Pilots Association, the NetJets Association of Shared Aircraft Pilots, the Allied Pilots Association, the Southwest Airlines Pilot Association, They're all saying just pass the freaking CR. A lot of these pilots actually are liberal people, generally. A lot of the times they are, not always, but Ron Johnson says he has offered Senate Democrats a proposal to pay federal employees amid shutdown. Johnson said he's going to encourage Senate Majority Leader John Thune to bring his bill back up for another vote with the compromise amendment if the Senate fails to pass the House's continuing resolution to reopen the government. I'm hoping he managed to get this today. I didn't see any other news about it, so we'll see if we find out tomorrow whether or not Senator Ron Johnson was able to get this passed. My guess is no, but we want them on record saying no. This is fracturing them. This is fracturing their armor. They are losing this. They keep saying they're winning the fight. They're winning the argument. They're not. So don't worry. This is a bunch of people making up the same stuff that they typically always make up. Okay, so none of what they're saying is true. The numbers are way on our side right now, and will continue to be because we're doing this not just for the right reasons, but saving money. We're totally willing to get the healthcare costs down. We don't like the Obamacare plan at all. That's why it's so expensive. You're the one that's not paying anybody on the left, and you're using it as leverage. I want you guys to think about your animals, your little four-legged creatures. Certainly ourselves, too, but there's this mushroom. It's called Coriolis versicolor, and it actually enhances the immune system of dogs, cats, people. They've got horses, too. I would assume it works for sheep and some other animals. I don't know. Some of their stomachs are different, but this is an amazing support. Literally, you've got pill forms for humans. It just enhances your immune system. There's people that literally have dosed heavily on this stuff and actually seen some of the parasitic issues kind of go bye-bye. Or, another way put, cancers disappearing. This actually has a very interesting effect, certainly on animals as well. There's a number of ways to get it into your animal. You want to go to the Shop Now tab. There's dogs, cats, horses, humans, packs. So it depends what you're trying to do. There's, again, a lot of products that are worth checking into. For dogs, there's a couple treats that you can offer up. There is a mush puppy, which is essentially like a cookie. They got a few different versions of it. They all have the Coriolis versicolor in it. They also have a liver treat that cats are fond of. This is one of the treats that's offered to cats. You could offer the cookie to a cat. Most cats won't eat it, but Mojo's is a liver treat. It's got the Coriolis versicolor in it as well. They've got freeze-dried foods. You should look at the ingredients of the foods you're feeding your animals. Now, some people are maybe getting better food qualities. That's awesome. And so maybe you don't necessarily need to go down this path. But a lot of you guys, if you're just buying regular store-bought food, look at some of the ingredients. It's not good. This stuff has very few ingredients on the box. We're talking about, in a lot of cases, I think, one of them's got brown rice. I got sequoia chicken. I think there's one that's got pumpkin and sweet potato. So there's some different kinds of foods. There's this freeze-dried one that's like a chicken-flavored one. 1 pound of food expands up to 5 pounds of food when you add water. So obviously you don't do that all at once. You do it a scoop at a time or whatever. But that's a great way to get the Coriolis versicolor in your animal, as well as much, much healthier products for them to eat. Also, as much as it seems weird, the antler stick is a big deal. First off, they're reasonably inexpensive, and it's a great way to give health to your animal. Your dog loves a stick, right? They love sticks. They don't even give a crap. Sticks are awesome. This is a stick with a purpose. It's going to have the stick effect. They're going to sit there and chew on it, so it's grinding down their teeth and stuff like it's supposed to. That's good. And then it's also breaking off into their mouth the bits of antler. That's very good. It's like calcium and all that kind of stuff. It's very healthy for them. So the sticks are amazing. Now, again, these antlers fall off the animals, the deers or antelopes, whichever ones, that falls off them naturally every year, and then they grow them back. So people find these, and there you go. Clean them up and turn around, turn it into a dog treat. So it's extraordinarily healthy, and you're kind of recycling, too. It's like a win-win. They've got a rope pull toy that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals. A lot of stuff is made in China. A lot of the toys you give your animals are made in China. They have lead on them. They're made with lead. This is part of why some of the animals don't last as long as we want them to. So go to the dogs tab if you've got dogs. Go to the cats tab if you've got cats. They've got special sauce in both cases. It's a way you can just add this to more food. Again, it depends. Are you trying to get more? Are you trying to fix a problem that already exists and your pet's already not eating as much as they should, so you're trying to get more calories on them? Are you trying to get them to lose weight, so maybe adding more calories isn't necessarily the way to go, so maybe you swap out something for something else? You got to kind of assess your situation. Cats, like I said, they got the treats, they got the special sauce just like the dogs. They've got dry food just like the dogs. They've got a canned food just like the dogs, except it's cat food. turkey entree for your cats. Now, I know cats are way more finicky eaters, so I guess good luck. But, again, some cats are cool. I've known people that have like, yeah, my cat eats dry cat food, and they don't freak out. So I think a lot of it's just whether or not we spoil them with certain stuff, and then cats will get weird and just not eat anything else but the super fancy food. So not sure where you're at in that. And then, of course, horses, they've got mush ponies, which and they got a crazy number of ways to buy those if you actually have a number of horses. But again, just a way to get that Coriolis versicolor in them. It helps so much. It is cancer, it fights cancer. I mean, there's a whole lot of research they've done. There's a whole lot of people that have talked about the benefits they've seen with their animals. It seems to be a really good way to go. And also for people, highly recommend the gummies, easiest way, and they're super delicious. You'll eat way too many of them. But they've got the pills. There was the guy with Baby Trump running around talking about how he had a throat tumor. He took gobs of this stuff, like probably 3, 4, 5 times the dose of normal. Normally it's one pill for every 50 pounds. So, right, depending on your weight, that's how many pills you should take. He was doing 4 and 5 times that. Thing went away. Doctors were shocked. So there is a lot to be said about the power of this. Ooh, they got an oatmeal raisin cookie now, folks. Oh, yummy. Those I like a lot more than chocolate chip. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Look at that. And then, some longevity, Joe. Oh, cool. They got some new products. Go to danradiostyle.petclub247.com. That's danradiostyle.petclub247.com and see how you can help, prolong your life, prolong your loved little four-legged one's lives. A lot of good things are going on there. danradiostyle.petclub247.com. Check it out. All right, some corruption's running around. Anyone surprised? Or they're doing something about it at least. That's the good thing. House Oversight Committee deems some of Biden's auto pen orders are invalid. Asked the DOJ to investigate. They actually found a shocking number of them. I want to say it's 88-point-something%. I'll find it here in a second. I don't know if it's in this article or one of the other slides I got, but 88-point-something% of the signatures were auto pen, at least that weren't sort of justifiable auto pen signatures. So this is being pushed over to Pam Bondi. This is the Oversight Project. 88.3% of documents excluding public laws, so executive orders, pardons, commutations, and proclamations were signed with the auto pen under Biden, at least 88.3%. That's wildly crazy. So this was the Oversight Project that put those numbers out. Attorney General Pam Bondi said, "My team has already initiated a review of the Biden administration's reported use of auto pen for pardons. At Rep. James Comer's new information is extremely helpful, and his leadership on this issue is invaluable. We'll continue working with at GOP Oversight to deliver accountability for the American people." So hopefully we get something serious that comes out of this. Ultimately, I'm wondering if this has to go up to the Supreme Court or if they can truly prove through the investigations that these were not signed or Biden didn't actually know about these. And if they can prove any of them, Fauci's going to be a good one, Schiff's going to be any of those. So a lot of people are panicking big time right now. Comer opens up a probe into whether UNRWA, as they would sometimes pronounce it, UNRWA, if they obstructed U.S. oversight into staff alleged ties to Hamas. This is that UN group that supposedly had employees that literally were part of the October 7th raid into Israel, killing Israeli citizens. So they've been kind of slow walking it, not giving the data that they've been requesting, and so they're upping the ante a little bit and basically saying these guys are obstructing us. Comer sent this letter to the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres requesting documents and information related to the alleged ties to Hamas, and comes after UNRWA's repeatedly failed to adequately respond to oversight requests by the United States government. So we'll see, again, how that plays. They've been saying no forever, just not doing it. So, odds are they won't give us anything. But it's going to complicate issues with the UN in general, which I think we're ultimately going to pull out of. So it'll be part of that process building, I assume. House Republicans accused Biden FBI of retaliating against whistleblower who exposed misconduct. The House Judiciary Committee says Biden admin denied whistleblower's wife access to an attorney during her interrogation. That's illegal. That's illegal. Literally denied her the ability to see an attorney. This was in a letter signed by Chair Jim Jordan and a Republican Ohio, and Jen Kiggins, Republican from Virginia. The committee on Monday informed FBI Director Kash Patel that the Biden administration used a security clearance interview process to skirt whistleblower protections and investigate Special Agent Valentin Fertitta in 2024. Fertitta had blown the whistle on the FBI's misuse of law enforcement authorities. After that, his security clearance evaluation process became unusually prolonged. During that time, the FBI made attempts to interrogate his wife, Emila Fertitta, and asked her to participate in a 2-day interview. When Mrs. Fertitta pushed back and asked to have an attorney present, the Department of Justice effectively denied her request. That's not legal. There is now a special grand jury that AUSA Jason Quinones just mentioned the court and the Southern District of Florida to reopen in Fort Pierce. That's going to be impaneled in January. So this is Just Schumer and his speculations on them opening this up. He says he thinks it sounds like a great place to open up this grand jury on Crossfire Hurricane and against these lawfare Democrats. It might actually be a fair, safe district to do it in. So this could be a big, big part of them going after that Crossfire Hurricane, the illegal raid of Mar-a-Lago and all the stuff that happened there. And they might even be able to go after him criminally. I don't know. We'll see. And we'll see what comes from that. I'm not going to pretend I know what they can and can't do, but I'm sure going to enjoy the process. California sheriff exposes foreign voter under Gavin. This is Gavin Newsom. This is freaking messed up.
The way the voting system is structured, we see quite a few flaws. You're able to register even if and cast a vote if you don't live in the country, as evident of his brother in Pakistan. And I think we have some evidence of 2 or 3 other people out of the country that voted. Is that correct?
Yeah, approximately 2 or 3 other people out of the country, as well as people residing outside of the district.
Okay. The online voter registration system, it seems to be an honor system. Anybody can put information in there to register to vote. All you have to do is click a box and say that you're not lying, and then you'll get an email from the Secretary of State or something in the mail saying thank you for registering to vote, and there you are. Once you're on the voter rolls, anytime an election comes around, guess what? You get mailed a ballot, right? You get mailed something to vote. So we found that a little bit problematic.
And they never check for signature, ID when you come here. In fact, they like freak out if you have it out. They act like you just showed them your wiener or something like that, assuming you're somebody that has a wiener. Otherwise, you might not know what that's like. It can surprise people sometimes. Gavin Newsom's prostitution shield law is creating a sex market full of 12 and 13-year-old girls in downtown Los Angeles. They've got this section. Newsom passed this law that basically said they can't stop and question people that seem to be standing around, especially if they're dressed inappropriately. So they literally passed a law that says you can't do this. Well, they have this Figueroa, this area, Figueroas, I guess is what they call it. And gangs own this. This is where they're literally doing prostitution. They found out, like drugs, you sell someone some drugs, they go, and you don't see them again for a while, if ever. But here, you can take your same girl, your same bag of drugs, if you will, and you can rent her out multiple times. And they're saying they can easily make $12,000 a night per girl. Or with a dozen girls, one trafficker can easily make $12,000 a night. $1,000 a girl, I'm guessing. But drugs are sold once and gone. Girls can be resold indefinitely. They're finding that a lot of these girls are younger. They're putting on fake eyelashes and all this stuff, so they can't tell if they're younger. If the cops actually know they're younger, they can actually come in and question them. That's one of the only places where they can go in there. But the problem is they're giving this area to the gangs, and the gangs are going to make sure these ladies look older. So literally their underage prostitution of young girls is happening in this Figueroa's district, or Figueroa's 77th Street division. For those of you who want to go do illegal stuff, there you go. That's where you go. But yeah, I mean, I would never go into L.A. Never. There's nothing that's worth going into L.A. for. Oh, Lord. Newsom's Prop 50 ballot text admits partisan revenge. It specifically states that they're doing this because of Texas and the way they're drawing state lines. Anyway, supposedly it seems like it's set up for the possibility for them to immediately sue it, even if it passes, which that was kind of my assumption. Whatever the case is, we'll see. I'm going to go out and get my no on Prop 50. It's the only thing we can actually vote for right now. They did this whole special election that costs like $250 million just so we can go through this stupid experience. Whatever. I'm going to actually go in person, though, and vote, assuming I can. I'm pretty sure I can. I haven't actually looked it up online yet, but I've got all sorts of crap they've sent me. They're at least good about that, but they'll send it to anybody. Again, the honor system. It's kind of funny how that plays out. So Prop 50, vote no. If you're Californian, get out there and make sure you vote no on that one too, please. We got a little bit of action going on here. This is kind of funny. Podcaster, comedian Adam Carolla kind of rips on Newsom a little bit here when he tried to be all street talk. I'm not going to play the street talk part. I'm just going to play the BS here. And we're only going to play, 2-3 minutes of this, but I thought it was pretty decent, and Adam Carolla is definitely conservative. So check it out.
Of this, I want to show you. I got this video of Newsom appearing on a podcast recently where he tries to claim that he grew up with major hardship.
He tried to sell that shit here too. Single mom, and mean streets, tough upbringing.
The thing is nobody ever pushes back, and that's why he thinks he can just keep changing his mind over and over again. But let's watch it. This is.
Well, before we do it, you should know his dad was lead counsel for Getty Oil. Getty's like the richest family in the country, maybe in the world, and that's where his dad was. His dad was a judge and a lawyer,
right?
Too, and then the
Gettys,
bunch of
ladies pregnant, a bunch of hot ladies.
The Gettys were close family friends, and when he started his winery at 25, he got the money from the Getty family, just like you and I did when we were 25. All right, here we go. Tough.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man.
Yeah, man.
And it was just like hustling. And,
you're
and so I was out there kind of raising myself.
No, you weren't.
Turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
like the White Stack Five story.
Yeah, man.
Macaroni and cheese.
Brother.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm sure all the guys from the hood with the Getty family up in the hizzy. The Gettys.
That's unbelievable.
J. Paul Getty's probably coming up like, what's up? Word up, my homies. Come on, my shizzle. Shizzle, my nizzle. Where's your hot sauce, homies? Who's up here in the mac and cheese? You think he was going into South Central? Hey, man, I'm just sipping on some gin and juice in my 64. I laid back with my mind on my money on my mind, baby.
He had to be that super annoying, stuck-up, snobby, rich kid in school.
Oh, did you see the pictures of him in high school?
Yeah, he looks like a douche. He's got a scarf on.
He looks like James Spader from Pretty in Pink.
Yes.
He's wearing Italian loafers with no socks.
Yes.
His hair is slicked back.
Yes.
He's calling everyone sport. He's got a scarf. He's a world-class douchebag who has no personality other than the personality he perceives other people wanting him to have when he's in the room with them.
Right.
So when he's in the room with the brothers, he starts talking about mac and cheese and sandwiches. And he goes,
he is. He's so damn fake. It's unreal. So, yeah, it's always fun to see somebody making fun of Gavin Newsom. Couldn't resist the opportunity, especially considering I'm from California, right? That's where I live. I'm not like everyone else that ran away. Thanks, guys, by the way. Now we got to fight this fight with far fewer people, but I get it. It's expensive as hell. It's hard to kind of hang tight. ICE floods Houston hotspots in nighttime operation. Arrest 25 criminal aliens amid torrential rains. So I was just kind of bitching about Houston recently. Say the half-burned dead individual hanging from a bridge. Very, very typical thing that happens in most American cities, right? No, it doesn't, in fact. That's very much a cartel thing. Or gangs. Another one. By the way, for those of you guys who may not know this, when you see shoes on a phone wire or on a wire, like an electric wire, that's usually gangs too. That's like an indication also. It's one of those things just watch out for. If you see shoes up on an electrical wire, you got gangs in the area, right? So a lot of people may not know that. Some obviously do. But yeah, I was pissed about the Houston stuff going on, and I'm like, where's Abbott? Why isn't Abbott doing shit? I think I even talked about this on the In the Mix show we did over the weekend, my community show that we do once a month. And this was kind of brought up. I'm like, what's up with a couple people on that are from Houston, in fact, specifically, but Texas nonetheless. I think one of them's from Texas, like Dallas area maybe or whatever, but 2 of them are from Houston. And again, crazy. Like why is this okay? Why you have a good governor and yet he still has a hard time doing what needs to be done? And again, I'm sure some of it's the legalities. Maybe he can ask for help from Trump with the National Guard. It's all possible. We got leftist mobs are harassing Nick Sorter during a live Fox interview. They had to kind of cut it short. I think hopefully this is still there. Check it out.
Let's bring in Nick Sorter. He's a independent journalist. He's been out there at Portland for quite some time. So what happened, Nick? They cleared out the Antifa caliphate?
Yeah, well, Jesse, they cleared out the camp, but this is not the first time they've done this, right? It's been typically what they do is they clear it out, and then a couple of hours later, anyway, it's right back up. And they came out. Keep in mind, Jesse, on a Sunday, 140 days they had to clear this camp, and they decided not to. They decided not to until this random Sunday. So if you think government employees are coming out coincidentally on a Sunday to do this, then I don't know what to tell you. This is specifically because of the amount of attention we brought to the story out here and the fact that the National Guard, tomorrow, we're going to be hearing, they're going to be deciding whether or not they're going to rehear the case. And you can hear, they're still trying to harass me here on the sidewalk, screaming at me, trying to come at me. My security is having to push them back. It's crazy out here, Jesse, when you have the Portland government trying to say that it's peaceful out here, when I'm not even allowed to be on a sidewalk and record, minding my own business without people trying to attack me.
Wow. All right.
And keep in mind here, you've got you've got this safe house down the street here where violent criminals go to hide and to evade police at Antifa safe house. And police say it's too unsafe for them to go in there to catch these fugitives. So if you're saying that's too unsafe for even police to go in, the National Guard needs to be here. How do you even make the argument against that?
So why don't the police just get a warrant and raid the safe house and just take care of business?
I'll say that one more again.
Why can't, if Portland police knows where the safe house is and they know there's a bunch of gnarly guys, probably with warrants, why can't they just raid the safe house and clean it out?
That's exactly what they said, Jesse. Is when they are called and told that somebody, a violent individual that went in and hit Katie Davenport, for example, when that person went and hid in that safe house, the Portland police actually told her on the phone that it was too unsafe for them to go in there. So I guess that's why. That would be one reason that I would guess. And other than that, they don't want to piss these people off. I believe that top brass out here are afraid of the political ramifications of taking on Antifa. Now, the question is what happens after this National Guard order and decision comes out of the appeals court down here? Do they just allow them to all of a sudden rebuild the camp immediately? Is that what's going to happen? Is this only going to last a few days? Have they decided, we're going to enforce these rules just until hopefully the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals rules that the block can stay in place?
All right. Nick, you stay safe. I know there's a bunch of guys trying to harass your shot. Just stay out of trouble, and we'll go back to you as this thing develops throughout the week. Thank you.
Yeah, so
thank you, Jesse.
So again, a lot going on, but obviously the guy's getting harassed the entire time. I was expecting that to go worse than it did, so whatever. They Hollywood things up over there on Waters. Trump administration quietly purges ICE leaders in 5 cities. This is kind of a trip. A little interesting breaking news. The Trump administration, they began to purge immigration and customs enforcement officials in offices in 5 major U.S. cities and fill some of those top posts with senior Border Patrol agents who will take over interior immigration enforcement in those regions. That's powerful just in and of itself. You're like, oh, wow, cool. I wonder why those ICE enforcement agents aren't okay. I wonder if they just weren't good or if they were actually literally keeping things from happening. You know how bureaucracies are. So they've been let go. Let's talk about the 5 areas. Denver, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Diego. I think they're all sanctuary cities. Sanctuary cities with bad ICE people that are now going to get with custom enforcement. I'm assuming the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, whatever, Border Patrol. One of these guys is probably paid through when the shutdown happens versus the other, maybe? I don't know. That's one thing I'm wondering. But whatever the case is, Border Patrol is obviously going to do a better job taking care of business. We'll see how this plays out. It's very exciting, though. Things are totally happening. Yeah, no way around it. Got some news, a couple shorts on the elections. Virginia election here, the Virginia Attorney General's race, and I think the other one. Not what I wanted, that's what I wanted. They're apparently got some changes happening because of all this crazy news that we've been spreading.
Ago. Republican incumbent Attorney General Jason Miyares, about 2 points over Democrat Jay Jones. Jones' 6-point lead erased, flipped, after that scandal over 2022 text messaging where he fantasized about killing his Republican rival and the man's children. Disgusting. Term-limited Governor Glenn Youngkin is optimistic.
Yeah, and I think there's another race that we've got that's flipping kind of nicely. Indiana Governor Mike Braun just formally called a special session of the legislature to redistrict the state for 2026 midterm. They said nothing short of 9 Republicans and 0 Democrats to Congress will be acceptable, so they are specifically going in that direction. Yeah, Sears still trails. But yeah, needless to say, Sears is maybe not going to make it. Unfortunately, she's a sweet lady, but she just doesn't have like that pop, you know? She just is very kind of withdrawn a little bit, so it's tough, I think. Anybody care? This one so heavily bummed me out because Bruce Springsteen was someone I loved his music when I was younger. And not like I've ever been to a concert per se, but would have. But I just feel like he's douched so hard on this great land, especially when, he was born in the USA and all this nonsense, and he's like the biggest dick when it comes to anybody that doesn't agree with their side. So he's been just a giant piece of trash. Well, I don't know if you'd heard, probably haven't, like most people. He came out with a movie, the director Scott Cooper's Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Well, it bombed in the USA and worldwide. It was expected to do in the United States, worst case scenario, they figured in the USA, it would do what it did worst case scenario globally, which is what it did. Worst case scenario globally was even worse than what they thought it was going to do. It did $7 million here. It did 9.1 million here. Where was it? Yeah, 9.1 million, and then they did another 7 million outside of that. Did 16 million worldwide. That's what they figured they'd do on the low end here in the United States. Yeah, because he is so unpopular. So very good. Good job, guys. We win again. Oh, yes. So some China, Russia sending beautiful women to seduce tech lords and steal their secrets. Yes, they are. Indeed. Come in here, steal our secrets and stuff. I got lots of secrets. Secrets everywhere. Secrets all over the place. Secrets here, secrets there. I got a little book of secrets over here, and over in the other room I got some secrets. Kind of keeping, in secret hiding places, but I got secrets. Oh, shit. Sorry. Apologize, guy. A little carried away. And for those of you, just break the illusion real fast. I can't. I see a ceiling. I don't see what it looks like I'm staring at. So I would do that by looking right here, which, she looks like a girl at the gym. That's how that would happen. Okay, sorry. I wish I could have spent more time doing that in reality. I'm going to have to do it afterwards. Take a cold shower probably too. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. My goodness. Woo! All right. Minute and 17 seconds long. Trump did a lot of cool stuff when he got over there to Japan. And, one, I just think it's cool that the new prime minister there, Takaichi, also they watched the game together. We're going to cover that at the end, but that part anyways. But that's super cool. Go Dodgers, by the way. Holy crap. What a game. I didn't watch it last night. I was like sleep 3 times over by the time that game finally finished. But, wow. That said, here's Trump talking about the UN and its climate change and how it's a scam. Oh, yeah, this whole section's on the UN stuff falling apart. This is weird. This whole section's kind of weird. Check it out.
States, but I worry about Europe. I love Europe. I love the people of Europe. And I hate to see it being devastated by energy and immigration. This double-tailed monster destroys everything in its wake, and they cannot let that happen any longer. You're doing it because you want to be nice. You want to be politically correct, and you're destroying your heritage. They must take control strongly and immediately of the unmitigated immigration disaster and the fake energy catastrophe before it's too late. The carbon footprint is a hoax made up by people with evil intentions, and they're heading down a path of total destruction. You know, the carbon footprint was a big, big thing a few years ago. I remember hearing about the carbon footprint, and then President Obama would get into Air Force One, a massive Boeing 747, and not a new one, an old one with old engines that spew everything into the atmosphere. He'd talk about the carbon footprint, we must do so. Then he'd get in and he'd fly from Washington to Hawaii to play a round of golf. And then he'd get...
Yeah, and then he'd come back just spewing carbon all over the place. I think got some carbon on my face one time when he flew over. Mid-Atlantic lawmakers unite in a push to stop the climate cultists as the power bills worsen. A lot of people are not buying this shit anymore. It's way too expensive in cost. They're losing their power at different times of day. Nobody's hearing any difference or change. It's like you've asked us to tighten the belt beyond the point. Like I almost just broke my spine tightening my belt so tight. Like this isn't working. And people are sick of it. Especially when you've got all these other people that are like, no, it's not true. And they're like, really? Please tell me that's true, that it's not true. I'd love to know that because this is too expensive. And that's where they are. It's ridiculous right now. Shocking new report lays out that full scale of environmental damage caused by onshore wind turbines. It's horrible. Killing bats, killing insects, killing birds, just destroying birds. Eagles, vultures, birds of prey, bats like in the thousands. And it's so funny because, they'll literally drain all of our fresh water that we could possibly drink here in California down a river so we can save a fish. But we'll put wind farms up all over the place and kill animals like crazy. But we like fish. Fish that probably shouldn't be in that river. Those fish aren't smart enough to realize you got to get the F out of that river. Bad place to be, home dog. It's only so many times we're going to flush you before you're not going to make it. It's a pretty bad numbers, and it's worldwide. There's potential. They're calling it like area extinction almost for animals, certain animals, for certain species. It's really messed up. They're saying around the world almost 600,000 sea. Oh, this was that was the Deepwater Horizon. They were comparing it. So Deepwater Horizon, that was the really nasty oil spill we had in the Gulf. That was horrible. About 600,000 seabirds were killed from that. Right now, slightly less is about 500,000 bats have been killed by these onshore in the U.S. just by wind turbines. Just in the U.S. I thought it was worldwide. 500,000 just in the U.S. by wind turbines every year. In the U.K., it's about 30K. Canada, about 50K. Germany, about 200K. So worldwide, we're pushing, 800,000 dead bats. Bats are actually more important than people realize. Most people freak out about bats, but you got to understand they eat bugs. Keep that in mind. Bugs are bad. Bats, good. Unless you're like in those few countries where they got the vampire bats, right? Or whatever they say. They're in the Indiana Jones 2, and they're just pretty birds. And those are bats. They'll come down and suck your face. They're like chupacabras, but worse. Now, Bill Gates with his jazz hands, because he's famous for his jazz hands. I think I remember making fun of his jazz hands before, unless they just happened to use the same picture. But he's doing backflips now, it seems, on the climate change stuff. He's like, it's not gonna kill us like today. No, we're backing away a little bit. He believes climate change is a serious problem, but it won't be the end of humanity as we know it in this new 17-page memo that was just recently put out. I'm going to guarantee you that this was one of the deals, Epstein files, anyone, that Trump made with Gates. Remember, he met with this guy. And he probably said something to the effect of, look, here's what you're going to do. You're going to come out and you're going to admit that, this climate stuff's not really everything it's cracked up to be. Again, it's all the people that are going to, YouTube, you're going to stamp your little thing on me. This is Bill Gates' words. This is your guy. Got a new 17-page memo. Now, he's still saying it's a problem. All right, I get you. You guys can put the little thingy on there. Not a strike. I don't deserve that. I'm certainly just sharing information. And hardly any of my audience watches me on YouTube currently. Whenever. Maybe that changes in time. Got 2 channels, too. That's the worst part. I got the one I made when the other one was gone. And, it's cool. Got people that kind of watch that. Sort of grows really slowly. Gets 1,000 views video-ish. And then we got my old channel, which is funny. It's just bleeding people. I'm hearing everybody's having that problem. I think they're slowly getting rid of counts they've gotten rid of. And then, they don't do it all at once, maybe, because they don't want you to, jump off a bridge or something. You'd be like, I had 28,000 subs, and I woke up the next day, and there's only 12,000. Which might happen. We'll see. I don't know. Whatever the case is, that one actually is doing better. I don't know, I'm probably getting 1,500 views on that one a day, but still strange. Then you got to maintain 2. Neither here nor there. But it is funny how the censorship game's played. Again, Rumble, you're always going to get the real thing. X, so far, you guys are always going to get the real thing. I don't like that I can't put the thumbnail there. So it's a bummer. I don't think it helps me really maximize my chances with the video. But needless to say, a lot of you guys watch them over there. Get a 300 to 500 typically over there. Pretty good. Nice chunk of people watching all over. But yeah, Bill Gates is coming out. He's saying stuff. And it's because we got him by the short and curlies, man. And so again, will the Epstein list come out? I don't know. I think we're seeing the Epstein list in action. If you pay really close attention and stop expecting things to play out the way you want them to, and you'll be amazed. Attorney General Ken Paxton is suing big pharma manufacturers for the deceptive marketing practices by Tylenol. They're marketing it to pregnant women and knowing there was elevated risk to dangers. Now, the beautiful part about this is not only is he going after Kenvue, who Johnson & Johnson recently created a separate company called Kenvue, and they gave Tylenol to them because they knew Kenvue was about to get sued. Well, they knew they were about to get sued. But here's the beauty. Attorney General Ken Paxton sued both companies because it is Johnson & Johnson's who made it. Whether you changed it to Kenvue after, that's fine. I'll sue them too. So this is a big deal that he's going after both of the companies, and he's not letting that little nonsense happen. Some of the stuff happened, I want to say, with some of the vaccines. They kind of pushed those off into separate companies, or there was one other drug that they were having issues with, and they created a separate company so they could try to just side skirt the obvious lawsuits they were going to have. But it shouldn't be that easy to do. I want to let you guys know that you certainly want to go to MyPillow. MyPillow's got an awesome shipping, $75, and you're getting free shipping. That's actually a big deal. That saves you. If you're getting $75 worth of stuff, it's probably saving you $15, $20. It's pretty awesome. And you're going to get $100 in free gifts, free digital coupons. They're freaking super. So this is promo code OTF. It's going to get you there. MyPillow.com/OTF. That's MyPillow.com/OTF. Or you can call 1-800-544-8939. That's 1-800-544-8939. And certainly can order that way as well. For some of you guys, that's easier for you. I got the body pillows are back, right? Ladies, you don't need a man anymore. You got a body pillow. It's $29.98. Boom, done. Gentlemen, I don't know. You'll just wake up humping the thing, but yeah, they're fun. They're nice. It's a big-ass pillow. Don't let anyone sleeping with you. It's like, they say, I don't need to tell a joke, but it's kind of a funny joke. Blowout sale right now on their standard MyPillow. This is that knife edge one. This is the one I love. This is my favorite pillow. $14.98. It's the first pillow I ever got was this one. The regular queen size, basically, pillow. Their normal size or whatever it is. Ended up getting the king size. King size is good. They fill it enough. It's cool. This is the brand I like better. This version of the pillow. I've talked about that before. I feel really bad. I wish the 2.0 was better. I love the coating on the outside. It does cool. The cooling of it is super cool. I don't like the fill. The fill is so much better on the first one. Just better. So anyway, whatever. I was a horrible salesperson. They were smart and took it off my page. They actually pay attention. It scares me a little. All said, free shipping on everything except mattresses and on the toppers. I don't know. They got rid of that. That used to be on there. Man. Dawn, hi. Just anyways, apparently you guys are listening. You got to check out the socks too. Everything they make with cotton. Everything they make. They have that Giza cotton. It's on their Giza sheets, which got to be down here somewhere. Here they are. Giza Dream Sheets starting at $29.98. That's an insane deal. Percale sheets, any size, any color. Well, it lasts. $29.88. That's incredible, by the way. Again, the 6-piece towel. The towels are the best. Very limited quantity, so you're not going to get many more of these. This is a really good deal on it. And the towel is just amazing. It absorbs. Lady, those of you that wrap your hair, it'll dry your hair way faster. The first time you use them, if you've never used these towels before, you'll be pissed. You'll be like, damn it. And I warned you. That's all I can say. They're amazing how much better they work. I don't know. They don't put chemicals in them, and it's natural cottons and stuff. So they're just better from that standpoint. That's why they feel a little different. They kind of almost feel like that old terry cloth robe that you got that, just works like magic. They feel like that, but a little plusher. But like I've had fancier towels. They feel different. They feel like they've got like I don't know, some of this weird thing on them. I don't know. These things are incredible. They've got, again, everything cotton. Their outlet stuff is really good. They've got so many cool things, lightweight throw blankets. Like, just look for different things. You're looking for some clothes that are really good quality. They got panjamas. They got woman's 2-piece kimono set. You dang girl. Alice Tang, when you come visit, just saying. I got secrets. Lots of them. Oh, they got hoodies. Look at that. They got some cool colors on them, too. Look at that. They got some cool colors. Very neat. Yeah, anyway, they got a lot of great stuff. You're going to want to go to mypillow.com/OTF. That's mypillow.com/OTF. $10 off. Look at that. They're trying to give you extra coupons on top of the coupons. Go to mypillow.com/OTF. That's mypillow.com/OTF. Get the best night of sleep you have ever had. All right, we got a bunch of stuff going on around the world. That's the wrong one to turn off. First off, we're going to start here. I thought this was very interesting. And again, I can't verify this. Didn't try to verify it. Might be hard to verify, though, frankly. Svetlana Lokova, of course, rolls off the tongue. She said, yep, recently spotted in London in order of appearance. Mike Pompeo, Obama again, Obama the third time, Andrew Weissman, Jack Smith, Kamala Harris. I wonder what stuff they've had to sign. Now, Kamala Harris still talking about running for president. Jack Smith, he's scared for sure. Weissman, I haven't seen anything from. Obama 3 times. 3 times. That's a little interesting. King Charles was being heckled over Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein.
How long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew? Have you asked the police to cover up for Andrew's Charles? What do you think? Should the MPs be allowed to debate the royals in the House of Commons?
Now, I'm going to be honest. Let me see if I can find her. This little blonde chick right in front. Let's see. She looks at him. There it is. Let's see if they can get a little better frame on her. That's a mad. I think that's a girl. It's hard to tell. But there you go. She's angry. To my British friends, you can't hear her, but you can tell when you look at her face. Oh, my God. She's scary looking. One of all those things. Italian court approves extradition of Nord Stream suspect to Germany. What's interesting is this is not the same suspect that's in Poland. Remember, Germany wanted that individual, and Poland's like, yeah, so no, we don't necessarily believe all this stuff that you claim happened. Most people actually think that the United States most likely had something to do with this, and I'm talking about our covert deep state aspect of us. This is when Biden was in office, and we are one of the few countries, us and the Soviets, Russia, are the 2 countries in the world that are capable of doing this, really. And that was why everybody always said there's no way it was a Ukrainian diver. There's no way it was anybody other than the United States or Russia. Russia's not going to blow up their own pipeline. That would have been stupid, right? And as it's turned out, the oil is the way we've attacked them, oil and gas. So this was... most countries are like, yeah, no, we're not buying this nonsense. So the deep state's breaking. The deep state's abilities, Europe's hold on Europe is breaking. We are making progress every single day. It's slow, but it's happening for sure. We had another attack in the Pacific again, and Pete Hegseth is talking about it. Yesterday, at the direction of President Trump, the Department of War carried out 3 lethal kinetic strikes on 4 vessels operated by designated terrorist organizations trafficking narcotics in the Eastern Pacific. Eastern Pacific. Oh, yeah, our side. The 4 vessels were known by our intelligence apparatus, transiting along known narco-trafficking routes and carrying narcotics. 8 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessels during the first strikes. 4 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessels during the second strike. 3 male narco-terrorists were aboard the vessels during the third strike. And a total of 14 narco-terrorists were killed during the 3 strikes, with 1 survivor. All strikes were in international waters with no U.S. forces harmed. Regarding the survivor, U.S. Southcom immediately initiated search and rescue standard protocols. Mexican SAR authorities accepted the case and assumed responsibility for coordinating the rescue. The department has spent over 2 decades defending other homelands. Now we're defending our own. These narco-terrorists have killed more Americans than Al-Qaeda, and they will be treated the same. We will track them, we will network them, and then we will hunt and kill them. I kind of don't mind, unfortunately. Again, it's happening. I'm not positive. Same thing as the, killing prisoners, by the way. I get it. These guys are doing some real harm, though. That's like crime in action, right? That's like defending yourself, kind of, in my opinion. I feel like at least closer to it, anyways. But yeah, here's, I think, the video. So this is where they got 2 for 1. A twofer. Booyah. That one's done. Done skis. I think we go to the next guy. Next guy here, we're going to apparently blur out because, I don't know, maybe he was flipping us off. Don't know. That didn't work well. And final one, I guess. There you go. Now that looks like they got drugs in the boat. Right? Normally it doesn't. That one looks like it was carrying some shit. Whatever the case is. Bad day at the office would be another way they would say it. And the copier machine is sunk at the bottom of the ocean. So they're claiming this is the second time this happened. Trump said the first time they claimed it happened, it wasn't true. This is the second time it's been claimed to have happened. I don't know if it's true or not. It seems much the same type of data is being used to, quote, prove that it happened. So who knows who's right, who's wrong, whatever the case is. It looks like another 2 U.S. Air Force B-1B Lancer long-range heavy bombers have gone by the Venezuelan coast and have now landed somewhere else. They kind of turned off their transponders after it was obvious they were there. So this was an intentional show of force, it seems. And then they probably landed someplace over here, whatever. We have bases. I don't know how close Puerto Rico is from here. That was one place they were talking about, but I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so it could very well have landed in Puerto Rico. Made it look like they were going further, right? But maybe circled back up to Puerto Rico and disappeared. Maybe they were trying to do some low-level runs, practice, or something stupid, making the best out of it. Whatever the case is, yeah, Puerto Rico is obviously very close. And they obviously wouldn't have wanted to land there during the hurricane. That's interesting as well. So maybe they'll come in behind it. I'm not sure. All said, a lot of speculation around what the hell happened. U.S. apparently was trying to spend money via the CIA and stuff like that to essentially pay Maduro's pilot a bunch of money to just deliver Maduro to them instead of actually, wherever he was planning on flying. Yeah, I don't think that actually happened yet. And I'm sure Maduro travels with quite a group of people, and maybe they would just shoot through the door. Like, there's no way, this guy's like, there's no way I could, survive that. Nah. Whatever. Venezuela alleges it detained CIA group, accuses U.S. of orchestrating a false flag attack. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt for a second we're actually doing that. Not sure if it's good guys, bad guys going on, because I know the bad guys of our government have been working directly with Venezuela for years, and they're likely still there. And probably part of the problem is we've actually got some of those nefarious forces there that need to be dealt with one way or the other. Maybe this is how they get, dealt with. Maybe we're like, all right, we'll give you a couple of things. Here's where a couple of the baddies are that we don't want, and you can do what you want with. These guys are technically America, but they're doing treasonous things, so let's not call them Americans anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like that happens. I read enough novels, pretty sure it does. Latin American political earthquake. Milei's midterm victory in Argentina puts Chile in focus ahead of elections. We are seeing a conservatization of South America. And this is kind of demonstrating what's happening with Maduro and Colombia right now as well. So we are seeing this shift and control. And this goes back to, I think, the multipolar world. I think we're taking control of our pole, which we're supposed to do. Let's worry about our own backyard rather than everybody else. And our own backyard's big enough. All of the Americas. It's a lot. And when we finally push our full forces into Canada, no, I'm just kidding, Canadians. I'm just kidding. Come on. Just having some fun there. Shucks. I don't want you to go punch a moose or anything. That'd be stupid. Okay, so here's the Japan stuff. We've got a lot of cool stuff here with Japan. I think, anyways. I just think this is so cool. For a lot of reasons. You guys know I've got my own issues with Asian people in general anyway, so there's a bit of that happening. But I mean, our baseball, the pitcher, who I probably can't even pronounce his name properly, this dude's a rock star, friggin' hitting home runs. They literally walked him every time he was up at bat yesterday because they're afraid the pitcher is going to hit a homer. That never happens. We're in this weird world right now, and I love it. Love it, people. Here was Trump showing up and meeting Japanese Emperor Naruhito. I feel like he's going to say if he's the emperor, he's like, Naruhito. Hey. Very cool that they're together. Again, it's like getting the Beatles back together. This dude doesn't like. I wonder if in Japan if they ever do like the special ceremonies where he puts on like some sort of emperor gear, or is he always just suit and tie? It just seems weird to have emperor as a title and not be dressed up in some sort of weird kind of different. Like a king's dress weird. Other people just presidents and stuff dress prime ministers. They just dress in suits. Who knows? Nobody knows. Here's President Trump meeting Japan's first female Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi. It's easy for you to say, whatever the hell. But nonetheless, here is Trump meeting her. That's pretty cool as well, I think. All right, you get the point. They said they had pleasantries, said, what are you wearing, and stuff like that. I mean, standard Trump talk. Then he probably went and peed on her bed. That's what you do. It's like signing a book. I'm kidding, people. I'm kidding. I still think the peeing on the bed thing was kind of a funny part of the Steele dossier. And he peed all over the bed. Trump? Really? He just doesn't strike me as a peeing on the bed kind of guy. Epstein, I would probably question that even still. Like, I don't know. He's all into massages and stuff. He might actually get a massage on that bed again. I don't think you want to pee on it. That's not a good idea. Nobody does that. Trump thanks Japan's first female prime minister for placing a very large amount of money on new equipment. So big investment, big partnership has happened. So this is an extremely successful visit that Trump had there.
I know that you are increasing your military capacity very substantially, and we've received your orders for a very large amount of new military equipment, and you know that we make the best military equipment in the world, the jets, the missiles, and everything else, and hopefully we don't have to use them very much, if at all. But we appreciate that order, and we very much appreciate the trade. We're going to do tremendous trade together, I think more than ever before. We're just signing a new deal, and it's a very fair deal, and we look forward to welcoming Japan into the United States and a continuation. And it's something that everybody is very, very excited about.
Yeah, I would say so. I don't know why. There's an odd excitement about this, especially considering what we did to you guys in World War II here in California. The internment camps. That was kind of fucked up. Sorry. Trump praises Japan as key ally, signs rare earth deals. This is pretty cool, this little spiel here where he's crawling up their backside, but he did it in a beautiful way.
I have always had a great love of Japan and a great respect of Japan. And I will say that this will be a relationship that will be stronger than ever before. And I look forward to working with you. And on behalf of our country, I want to just let you know, anytime you have any question, any doubt, anything you want, any favors you need, anything I can do to help Japan, we will be there. We are an ally at the strongest level. And it's a great honor to be with you, especially so early in what will be, I think, one of the greatest prime ministers. I think you will be one of the great. Everything I know from Shinzo and others, you will be one of the great prime ministers. I'd also like to congratulate you on being the first woman prime minister. That's a big deal. That's a big deal, and I want to congratulate you on that. I think that has to be called out. And you're going to do a fantastic job, and we're going to have a fantastic relationship. Thank you very much.
Pretty nice stuff, right? You gotta give the guy some points for all that good solid juice there. Here's Trump getting a gift from our good friend. She gets some signed Hideki Matsuyama, something like that. It was signed. Golf player is probably really good, and his putter apparently, which Trump, that's a big deal. By the way, I think this is part of why I like the Asian culture. There's just such a genuine warmth and kindness and excitement for giving gifts and showing how you feel. Like here in the States, we frequently tell people, I love you. They're more about never saying it to you almost and showing you they love you in different actions, remembering things, whatever. And it's just a different culture. It's very cool. Very cool. So again, fabulous picture of them hanging out. Actually, the one for baseball is pretty cool. We'll get to that. But yeah, it's just such a great trip. Such a great trip. This is bringing some important stuff together. So they're announcing a big investment deal. So we'll share that.
Proud to announce that this evening we're going to be signing $490 billion of investment. So I'm sorry I left it down. I didn't get to 500 billion. I came a little short, but we'll get there. Anyway, so these deals are driven by the Japanese Strategic Investment Initiative, which was created by your tariff policy and by your historic trade agreement with Japan. So that was the underlying reason that we were able to get all these deals done today. So the commitments ensure the economic and national security of the United States of America. We're going to be developing energy. We're going to be developing nuclear, semiconductors, and strengthening the entire domestic supply chain.
Nice. Yeah, this is, screwing China in a big way. Here's a great picture of them. I think they were watching the game beforehand. Looks like he's on the helicopter right now, but she was obviously cruising with him. But just a great picture. I don't know what it is. It's just something magnificent about these two being in this picture. Was it Abe? Yeah, Shinzo Abe was such a beautiful man and could have been, and they killed him for a reason. This lady's going to return to do what Shinzo was going to do. Trump says he's willing to extend his Asian tour meeting with North Korea. He'll stay another day if the dude wants to meet up. It was kind of funny. He's sort of like, let them know, because they don't necessarily have phones and stuff there, so not the easiest to get a hold of him. If any of you guys can reach out, got his phone number or something, give him a call. U.S. steps up pressure on Hungary to cut off Russian oil, but they're like, we're going to work with them, We understand you got to wean yourself from it. So we'll probably try to maybe take that market. Maybe we give them special pricing. Who knows? It's all about trying to make it painful for Russia. They don't want to be pissing Russia off, Hungary, though. So that's part of the problem they have right now is like, we don't want to be dicks. And then we're like, yeah, we get it. Maybe we just beat the price. And then you can tell Russia, hey, if you can do it cheaper. Like, again, I don't know the games they're playing. I'm sure Trump's the deal maker. I'm not. Otherwise, my life would probably be slightly different, but that's not what I'm here to do. Gaza's ceasefire surpasses 2 weeks. Israel is ramping up strikes in Lebanon, and there are some rumors that they're planning on hitting in Gaza because the couple hostages have come back that weren't actually dead hostages. They were at least dead Israelis. They were dead people, sure, but not anybody that they wanted. So something's not adding up there a little bit. I think, and this is an example of it too, that quote-unquote the IDF or possibly the deep state component of Israel is very, very determined and hell-bent on creating more war, more fight. They don't know how to stop attacking people. They are likely the problem. Again, we'll see. We'll see. I have huge love for the Jewish people. It's not that in any way, shape, or form. It is the deep state component within Israel, within the IDF, within the Mossad. This is, unfortunately, one of the worst places. I would say the CCP and what craziness they got going on behind that Iron Curtain, also crazy. And Europe is a mess as well. Ukraine, obviously. I mean, so we've got some nasty places. Obviously, Maduro in South America. So we're cleaning up our own backyards. A lot of interesting stuff going on. Didn't I just see the comment? It was it's too fast. Zelensky says he doesn't care if the claim used to oust the Odessa mayor is fake. So he ousted the Odessa mayor because the Odessa mayor had a passport or a dual citizenship or passport in Russian or some passport with Russia or something, and they're not supposed to. But what they found out was it wasn't true. It was actually a different person, and this is what they used to oust the Odessa mayor, was incorrect information. And someone asked him about it, and he's like, I don't care. I'm not going to question what they told me, what the investigators told me. He says how many passports he has, which are real, which are fake, who made them. Frankly speaking, I do not care. So is it 100% true that he is a Russian citizen? Tell me yes. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. This is the dude that we're all fighting for democracy? This guy doesn't even care whether or not the information is correct. Now, again, Democrats don't care about democracy. They care about power. They care about control. They want to control you, control what you can do, control what you can say. They want to control. That's all they want to do. Zelensky declares expansion of long-range attacks on Russian oil refineries. There's some suggestions in there that obviously the U.S. is giving some of the targeting information, and they've been reasonably successful with it. French government claims hackers changed Brigitte Macron's name to her brother's on the tax database. First off, that's funny if hackers actually were able to get in there and do that. Second off, I don't know if it's correct now or if this is just what they're saying, but there are some of the lawsuits are moving forward right now with the people claiming, one, that she molested this dude when he was 15 or whatever, and then two, that this was formerly a man. And that's the stories that are floating around. I mean, I have my opinions, that's for sure. I don't think there's any question at all. It's certainly an ugly French lady. Okay, I'll give you that. Brigitte, that's the closest I'm going to meet you halfway on is you are a very unattractive lady, if that's what you are. Okay. Sorry. I mean, it's okay. I'm not the most attractive man either, so I get you. Well, we have a lot in common in that regard, don't we? Oh, anyways. Trial begins for 10 accused of calling Brigitte Macron trans, making malicious remarks about the age gap with French president. Yeah, whatever. They're in a world of hurt, and everybody hates Macron right now anyway, so yeah, they don't like him either. So yeah, there you go. End of their bromance is coming to an end, one would say. Japan PM Sanae Takaichi. They watched Major League Baseball with President Trump before today's meeting. What was it, 12, 16-hour, 6-hour game? It's crazy-ass long. Sorry to keep you all waiting. As a matter of fact, Mr. Trump and I myself just enjoyed watching the Major League Baseball match. She loved it because obviously their player was in it, and he's Japanese, which is pretty cool. Highest paid player, I think, ever in Dodgers history thus far. Possibly Major League history, but whatever. I am not the sports guy, but I love the fact that a lot of good things are happening right now.
During the press corps, I'm very sorry that we kept waiting. As a matter of fact, Mr. President and I myself just enjoyed watching the Major League Baseball match. Actually, Dodgers versus Blue Jays, and Dodgers is now having a 1-point lead, and we really enjoyed the match.
まずトランプ大統領の訪日を改めて歓迎申し上げます。電話でも申し上げましたけれども、自民党総裁選挙に勝った直後にお祝いの発信をいただきありがとうございました。直接お会いできることを楽しみにしておりました。
So President Trump, let me extend a very warm welcome upon your visit to Japan.
That's pretty awesome. And again, I love the fact that she reminds me of my good friend Kazuko, who is at the Japanese restaurant I go to on the frequent, and just the expressions. I don't know, something cool about Japanese culture. Again, it goes back to Karate Kid. Unfortunately, how stupid is that? But that's really 5th grade. It was just kind of a time in my life. I was in karate at the time, and I had huge love for the Japanese and everything. And so again, it was just weird time in my life. This is part of who I am, though. Nothing happened by accident in my life, so I became the person I became. You became the person you became, and you're perfect how you are. That's the important thing to realize. All said, mind-boggling details from the Shohei Otani, something that Otani part I get. I forget how they say his name. Shohei. I don't know how to say his name. I should. I don't pronounce all this stuff well, but yeah. He's just killing it, man. This dude's like hitting homers and they're just crazy. And he's an incredible pitcher. So all said, he's doing a great job. Will Klein was the most unlikely of Dodger World Series heroes. Here's the Sandy Koufax told him after. He basically patted him on the back and said, nice going, bro. Dude saved the game through 4 incredible innings and struck out, I think, a whole bunch of people. Was it 4 shutouts? He threw a career 4 innings and allowed just 1 hit while striking out 5, spanning 72 pitches. Damn. So the dude is just, he's a rock star. So again, exciting baseball for people like myself, for most of the country. You guys probably hate this tremendously, whatever. Newly released video from Candace Owens shows Terrell Farnsworth, a Charlie Kirk employee, rushing to a camera position behind a tent before Kirk hit the ground, then recording a selfie video as Kirk was carried away. Now, I'm going to say, I think, slightly in his defense, and I'm going to let the rest of it just speak for itself, because I'm not defending him. But to make it seem like he just flipped on and started doing a selfie right after Kirk got shot, I don't think was the case at all. My guess is he had a selfie going while the Kirk speech was happening, or at least prior to it really getting started. And then the shooting happened and he still had the selfie going, or the, video post, whatever they're doing. I don't know exactly. So I don't know if let's just leave it at that. You guys make up your mind on what you believe, and I'm going to try not to say anything after this. We'll see if that's possible.
They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. They just shot Charlie. He's dead. God help him.
Now, again, I share this only because, I just wanted to make sure it was out. I have a really hard time with the direction Candace Owens is going with anything when it comes to anything, frankly. This one I'd look at another camera. That's what I would do if I could. Amazon's going to cut 14,000 corporate jobs in a major AI era restructuring. I think there's a bit of a spin on this story. They're cutting a bunch of corporate jobs. So they're thinning it where it matters, not the general worker, but the people that are a little higher up the food chain that basically maybe aren't necessary. A lot of those people probably can be replaced with AI. A lot of AI can handle a lot of those kinds of jobs very well. So that said, but they're still keeping some of the major workers, and we're also heading into holiday season where they're going to hire in some extra seasonal workers. Very common. I actually got hired in at UPS as a seasonal, and they kept me longer. That was brutal though, and my life changed. I got a better job, really, but man, that was a hard job. But it was good experience. I got lucky. I got preload too. That's when you load the brown trucks. I did unload my last day, and I quit because of unload. I had a box of receipt tape. It must have weighed, 40, 50 pounds. It was a really small little box, and it literally fell off the top. They had it packed up on the top, and it came down, and it hit me in the back of the head, and just literally knocked me to the ground. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm not dying for $9 an hour or $19 an hour or whatever stupid amount of money. I don't even remember what they were paying me. It was 20 years ago. But, yeah, I'm not dying for this amount of money. This is stupid. So, yeah, that's how that ended. So, again, 14,000 jobs. The people that can have boxes fall on their heads and kill them or get run over by a robot, they're still going to be running around. Don't you worry. We're not losing them. Not yet. All right, I think that's it. So, again, we got a lot happening. Things changing. Things are moving quickly. And, directions are going. They are. I think they're trying to clean up what we got going on our poll. And I think they're preparing for this thing that's coming, this problem that's coming. And we're kind of uniting. Deep State's not going to let us all die, or we're not going to let them kill us all. Let's put it that way. And so we are taking things back. It's a process, but we're actually seeing South America starting to get a little more conservative. Europe is starting to get a little more conservative. We're seeing it all over. God knows what's happening in China, but one can assume they're possibly getting a little more conservative. Democrats are losing power, losing control, and losing the ability to sway. People are waking up. You guys are making a huge difference. Thank you. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.